here to introduce Professor Krishnaswamy. He was a well-known student leader. Today, he is equally known teacher of history. The books that he has authored are countless. His friends think he must have at least penned 20 books. He's a poet, a speaker, and a researcher. It is our prestige to have him here.
Distinguished Chairman of the session, Dr. Swaminathan, Mr. Sampath, Professor Ranganathan, Mr. Nasir Ahmed, Mr. Villalan, Professor Munuswamy, Mr. Eelavendan, and other dignitaries. Thank you. I will not take much of your time. I am happy that I am given chance to share my thoughts. In 1986, I was asked to present a paper in Madurai Kamaraj University, 40 years of UNO. I presented a paper. When I was in search of materials, I came to know that there are no enough books about UNO in Tamil languages. Only one book, standard book in Tamil language about UNO, written by Panmoli Pulavar Ka Appadurayar. After that, no standard book in Tamil. So I tried to make an attempt, and I made an attempt. I wrote a book in Tamil on UNO, and I went to publishers. I requested so many publishers in Tamil Nadu to publish that book. They said, "Enna sir UNO? UNO na yarukku sir theriyum? Aina sabeyalla yarukku sir venum? Adella yaar sir veliyiduvaa? Naanga yaru padikka maatanga, naangala veliyida maatonu sollittaanga." As our chairman of the session, Mr. Kannan, said, UN was not popular 10 years back even. Publishers have not come forward. Still, the manuscript is with me. I don't feel sorry for that, but the condition of 10 years before was that. Today, I'm happy that people like Sampath, Kannan is an officer from UNO, but people like Kannan and Nasir Ahmed, Professor Villalan have come forward to celebrate the 50th year anniversary of UN. That gives me happiness. So in that mood, I just would like to share only very few thoughts of mine here. From the origination of UNO, even before San Francisco's meeting, even at the San Francisco's meeting, and even at the later stage when Vijayalakshmi Pandit entered into the General Assembly Hall, India's role in UN is much emphasized. That should be emphasized here. My idea is India has contributed much for the development of UN, and in turn, UN also has contributed much for the betterment and development of India. What we are today may also be due to UN's help. So in that way, very big personalities like A.R. Mudaliar, Malcolm Adisesaya, Mr. Narasimhan, Mr. Kannan, and many Indians, particularly Indians from Tamil Nadu, have done the excellent job in UN. And here I would like to make a mention about Major General Mahadevan, who was the Chief Commandant of UN Peacekeeping Force at Congo. And Major General Nambiar of India, he has headed the UN Army. So in that way, in the intellectual area, in the General Assembly, in all areas of UN organization bodies, UNESCO, UNICEF, Indians played very important role, and UN also has been doing its own service to Indian community through its bodies. And then I'm happy when I gone through the literature published from many countries, particularly one article from Pakistani author. I was very happy to read that UN has been giving much importance to Gandhian philosophies. In every discussion, Gandhian philosophies are quoted by many dignitaries of many foreign countries. In that way, our father of nation is much more respected in UN forums. That gives me happiness, and I feel you also will feel happy about it. And I'm sorry if my point is not acceptable to some of you, but I feel it is my duty to say this. I am told by Mr. Chandrahasan and other Eelam leaders, when I interviewed them, I presented a paper in Kashmir University, UN and Eelam Tamil's problem. In that occasion, for that purpose, I interviewed many leaders of Indian political scene and Mr. Karunanidhi and other leaders. From that interview, I came to know more than 37 countries among, now I said I heard 185 nations are members of UNO. Among the 185, more than 37 nations are readily waiting to second ELAM if it is proposed only by India. If it is proposed by India, 37 countries are at present readily waiting to second the existence of ELAM in the world as a new nation. I now request these organizers, the forum, to request Indian President, Indian Prime Minister to take this point and make a representation in UNO. And then I just second the proposal said by our own beloved Prime Minister recently. He has suggested reconstruction of UN structure. I am very particular, having gone through some literature connected with UNO with my minimum knowledge. I strongly felt that all the existing members of the Security Council could not do better because of ego, because of veto power, this and that. Better if veto power is taken from them. If it is possible, it could be better. Otherwise, it is our botheration to request the UN bodies or world leaders to see that India is included as one of the permanent members of the Security Council. So my strong feeling, my strong request to the organizers and audience is to make an appeal to the authorities concerned to see that India is included as one of the permanent members of the Security Council. I am told that this this institution will be very soon recognized by UNO. Such an institution which would be receiving UN recognition, if it passes resolution requesting the Secretary General of UNO or the leaders of various superpowers or foreign countries to make representation or attempt to make India as a permanent member of the Security Council. And suggestions may also be sent to the Secretary General of UNO that, as one of the earlier speakers, I think Professor Kulandeswamy made a mention, that UN, after completing all these human balancing formalities, human resource balancing formalities, it must make an attempt to form world government. That should be the attempt within the century itself. That would be better. So requests may be sent to UN authorities to make an attempt to form world government to solve so many problems. So with these few words, I just place my suggestions to the authorities concerned or organizers to pass resolution to include include India as a permanent member of the Security Council. And another resolution, two resolutions, if it is agreeable to all of you, it may be passed. As Professor Swaminathan said, he has proposed one resolution. I am for it. I hope you also will be for it. My second resolution is, in all our academic syllabi, study materials or articles or books about UNO is less or not even adequately given to student community. So these organizers, I request the organizers to pass a resolution requesting the central government as well as the state government to include at school level at least an article about UNO, at college level at least a studies. Nowadays, so many new studies have come in, human rights, women's studies, like that several branches have been coming up. In that way, you can suggest to have UN studies, paper for MA boys or for MA students or BA students. There may be a separate paper on UN studies. Enough materials are there, so that can be included in the academic area, for which also suggestions may be sent. And it may be a small suggestion, the next suggestion of mine. You also can pass a resolution and request the central government to make a stamp. Every year they publish stamps, central government. So in that way, this is a bigger forum, widely recognized body. If you suggest or request the central government to publish a stamp in memory of the...
In fact, for this 50th anniversary, there's a special stamp, and several of the stamps also have been made on behalf of the UN.
Of course. Well, if it is already there, okay. So friends, my suggestion, three suggestion is, one, to send peacekeeping force to Eelam, Sri Lanka, stop the innocent killing of our innocent brothers there. UN, which has sent peacekeeping forces to many places and solved many problems, that may come forward to send peacekeeping force or intellectuals. Some attempts it must make to solve the problems and see that ELAM is recognized at the international forum. So, World Government, ELAM, and then Security Council, India's place in the Security Council, these three are my important suggestions. I thank the organizers, particularly Kannan, Sambat and others, for giving me this opportunity, and I'm happy that people like these philanthropists have come forward to have celebrations. I'm happy. Thank you very much. Thank you.